Brad Beller, coach at Washington, brought Dawson Thomas. He was with the PSA video, and then I've got Sam Cantrell and Lane Taylor, all three-year starters. We're excited to be here, playing a great team in Jones that we've had a past with, and a lot of games, and a lot of great games in the past with. So not on this level or at this stage, but it's definitely one that I know each community, both communities, Washington and Jones, are excited about, and ready for Friday. I think any time that you get to play the last game of the year, it's going to bring the best out of everyone, and it's going to bring the best out of the communities. And I know all the things that go on in Washington and Jones this week are all going to bring value and add excitement to this game.
Kevin Witt. First, I just want to thank the OSSAA and UCO for putting on a first-class event. This is kind of a unique thing for these kids to experience. And also, as well, want to give a shout-out and a thanks to our community and the support that they give us. Along with that comes some expectations in playing in these type of games and getting to this point in the year, which doesn't happen very often. In Jones's history, it's only been 3 times, and I've been very fortunate to be a part of 2 of those in the 13 years I've been at Jones. And like Coach Beller says, we've had some battles, and we've come up on the short end of every one of those battles for the last several years against them. So it's definitely a tall task, but we're definitely excited about it. And today, unfortunately, I only bring 3 guys because we've got several guys that deserve to be here. But Jack Mendoza did the service announcement, and then I got Ace and Hansen and Luke DeBus behind me here.
This is for the coaches. I know, Coach Beller, I know you've talked about, obviously, the size and, in general, the talent that Jones has posed over the past few years, but especially this year. And then Coach Witt, obviously, this is a team that has won the last 3 state championships in 2A-1. I mean, can you guys just both, first off, talk about the matchup between these 2 teams, and then kind of just the respect these 2 teams have kind of had for each other from afar over the past few years, and to be meeting up in a state championship game, at that level?
Yeah, back when Dave Martin was the coach at Jones, and when we played them in 2020 in the playoffs, I think that was the 3rd meeting we had played. I think that Washington and Jones had played probably before Coach Witt and I were at Jones and Washington back in 2007, 2008, or 8 and 9, somewhere in there. And so, there's been a long history of both those teams throughout that stretch that's been very successful. And Jones winning it in 2016, I believe, and how great they were, and was able to be there whenever they won their state championship, and Coach Martin, and he was always good to me whenever I got into the coaching profession. So my history with Jones goes back to whenever I was at Lexington and being there when Coach Martin took the job, and seeing the program grow and develop into what it has been. And I know that, like Coach said, the last 6 meetings have not went like Jones wanted it, but the respect and the value that they have brought to our program, the growth that they have caused our program to have just because of what they bring from a physicality and athletic standpoint, down to just what they do as a program and how they fight for 48 minutes. And I think that they would probably agree with the same thing. The value that both programs have brought to one another have elevated each program to the stage that it's on. I think a lot of people around the state are excited to see these 2 teams finally meet on this stage, other than a semifinal or regular season matchup. And so they have a great team. Saw Hansen play quarterback when he was a sophomore, when Creasy was out in the regular season. We know how good he was then, and just add on that 2 years. And all these starters, these guys have been around forever, and you see them, and you feel a part of them just because you've seen them grow over the years. But definitely great to see these guys at this level, and we're definitely excited about being here and being their opponent.
Yeah, pretty much second a lot of what Coach Beller says. These guys, we got nothing but respect for what Coach Beller and those guys do. As far as the matchup goes, these guys are, they've been here. They kind of understand what it is to be on this stage. That's something our kids are going to have to understand, overcome. But as well as these guys, watching them, they're a pretty complete football team. Every time we play them, you've got to prepare for everything. Everything they do, there's not, I know all these, everybody up here is talking about stuff, but it's not one kid, it's not offense, it's not defense. These guys are a complete football team. And it's been no different than every other time we've played them. And so, it takes an extra attention to detail when somebody is that consistent in everything they do. And so I think that's our biggest thing, is just attention to detail on everything these guys do and making sure we're sound in what we do. And, every time we play these guys, we're excited. I mean, we're excited for the challenge. Like Coach Beller says, it's made us better. It's made them better. We've just ended up on the short end of the stick, and that's the hump. I guess to be the man, you got to beat the man, right? And so that's what we're aiming at.
Hey, Brad, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoma. You look from the biggest classifications to the smallest in Oklahoma, and right now we've got a lot of repeat champions in football, dynasties, whatever you want to call them. But to win repeatedly, I'm wondering at Washington, what's the equation? What's allowed you guys to have the type of success you've had on a repeated basis there?
I really think it comes down to our off-season program. We have a lot of kids that are very successful in other sports, but it really boils down to our strength and conditioning program. Starting in junior high, leading into high school, it's a continual thing for all of our sports: baseball, basketball, track. Everyone has the same type of approach to our weight program, and I think that allows us to, with the success that we've had in other programs, has allowed us to build off of one another. And so when your kids are going in and winning in football, and it bleeds over to basketball, and it bleeds over to baseball or track or whatever else, I think that there's becomes an expectancy, not from just the coaches, but from the player themselves. And whenever it can be a player-led program to where it's not the coaches grinding on them all the time, there's expectations and a standard that they know that they have to hold themselves and their teammates to, it just kind of grows. And I really think that it's not been, I think a lot of people look at the point of success as, oh, that's when it happened. And it was really the years before that, building up to this, run that we've been on the last several years that has allowed us to stay so consistent over the years, just because these kids have came through the program and the off-season program, and seen the group do it before that and know that they can't fall below that standard.
All right, question for the players now. So obviously a lot of playoff history going into this matchup, second round 2 years in a row, semifinals back-to-back years. Tell me what it's like to have this matchup in the championship, knowing that, and what the preparation and momentum will be going into this matchup.
Yeah, so it's always great to play Jones again. They have a great program over there, and they do things the right way. And so to get them in a game like this, it's a lot more fun. I mean, both of our schools, they have great communities and great support. And so it'll be a blast to be able to play them in a state championship game this time, and we're really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Just like what Sam said, meeting them up here, you get into these big games and a lot more people come. So we'll have a packed-out crowd, and I think it'll be an incredible atmosphere to come play in on Friday night up here.
Yeah, it's exciting. We haven't been here in 10 years, and just to get back on the stage it means everything, to this community, this town, and these players. But like they said, we're excited to meet them on this stage.
Yeah, everything Luke basically said. They have a great football team. They have the accolades to show for it, and just ready to play.
I have a couple questions. One for Brad. Again, I'm going to talk about, like I kind of asked with Coach Willis, talk about the loss. Losses. I know that you're on a six-string run of being in a state championship. Your first two didn't turn out the way that you wanted them to, and I believe your first one was a loss to Metro, and you'd lost to Metro like 3 years in a row or something like that. So they were kind of your juggernaut as far as in the playoffs. And Coach Witt, Washington's kind of Jones's juggernaut in losing maybe 4 out of 5 or something like that, 5 years to Washington. So, Coach, this year you lost at game 2. Tell us about the loss and what it has, if it's motivated you, motivated your players. Maybe the players can answer.
You know, we talk a lot of times about the journey being the reward, and you have to take what comes with that journey. And I know a lot of the kids, you know, before, you know, in off season, always ask, just since we were on that run, like, what are you going to be like if we ever do lose? And I said, you know, that game when we didn't play very well but still won, and, you know, you're going, why are you so upset? We won the game. I'm going to be like that. I said, but it's really, it might not even be that bad, because it's really how you play the game. The results sometimes can get in the way with how you play the game. And Sulphur is a great program. They're here for a reason, you know, back-to-back years. And so for us to learn to lose to them, and also to be able to grow and learn from that, I think it was a good thing for our team. Not the loss, but the fact that we fought hard, we played hard, they took us to another level, we didn't make plays. Our attention to detail and our awareness of little things made us a better team. And so sometimes that gets lost in the result, because when you win, it seems to be okay whenever you make mistakes. And whenever you lose, it heightens that awareness and allows you to, you know, go back to the drawing board, realize that it's not good enough. And as a coaching staff, as a community, and as players, ultimately, we have to take accountability for, you know, how we play and what we do, even though the world is going to look at the result. And so I don't think it definitely was not all bad. I think it's made us a closer team and made us appreciate, you know, how hard it is to win, you know, big games.
One more question for you, Brad. You, Kelby, your daughter's your kicker, and you have the opportunity this year to win a state championship with her. And I know Cammie has won some state championships in basketball. Your wife with her. Is there a little? I don't know if has she won a championship as a head coach with your daughter?
Yeah, she won in track. Cammie's
okay.
yeah.
Okay,
the head
so
track coach.
so she's one up you on that.
Yeah.
So you get the opportunity to at least, I guess, go for the tie. Tell me about that.
It's been a really neat process, just because we haven't had the kicking game. We've been pretty steady in the past, and we didn't have it. So she basically just came in and told me she was going to kick. There's no background to her kicking, soccer, or anything like that. But to see her, from a dad standpoint, to see her work hard and to, you know, try to be good at something that she's not, when she's been so successful in all the other things. She didn't have to do that. She loves these group of guys that are here, and these seniors and her teammates, and she feels like she's been a part of this program just because she sees the time that we put in with the players as a coach, taken away from time from being a dad. And so to get to her, more than anything, just getting to be around her, you know, throughout this process, and getting to see her has been fun, and for her to see the other side of what her father does on a day-to-day basis, and with these kids, and how much we love and care for these kids, has been neat for her, I think, to get to see as well.
Jacob Hunter with the Oklahoman. Speaking of family scoreboards, Asen, you have a chance to one-up your brothers. What would it mean to get a title that they never got?
Yeah, it'd definitely give me bragging rights at home. I mean, Justice has been to places I can only imagine being at, so it'll give me the advantage over Cannon. But Justice, on the other hand, it's hard to get to his to fill his shoes.
Yeah, I mean, you watch their games, and he's pretty efficient in what he does, and that's the thing. There's a lot of similarities in both of these guys. You know, I think the only difference maybe just the age difference. You know, Creed is you know, he's, like I said, he's efficient. He controls the offense, and you watch him, and they're always in the right position at the right time. He does a great job. I mean, he's accurate. He can, as much as he hasn't lately, he can run the football just as well, and it creates a huge matchup with. And I think about both of them. To be honest with you, there's a lot of people around them to make them good, and I think that's what's really tough. Is both of these guys do a great job facilitating all the talent around them as well, and so that makes them both really tough.
Asen, you know, seeing him in the, you know, early in the non-district, his sophomore year, you could see he had the it factor. He's a guy that knows the offense, is in complete control. You can see that he's an extension of Coach Witt and his coaching staff on the field. There just is an it factor. Everyone's game elevates around him, but to Coach's point, the talent that he has around him, he knows how to use that and utilize and make people as talented as they are even greater. He's elusive, can extend plays and make things happen that coaches don't draw on the drawing board. And so when you watch him, it just poses such a threat because, one, he can run. We know he can throw. But just the understanding of what defenses are trying to do to slow him down, and he just knows how to take advantage. He's seen it all, and has a great coaching staff to help him with his growth, and great players around him, and his offensive line. I'm sure that if you ask him, he would give a lot of credit to that big, strong offensive line that he has that keeps him clean and allows him to do what he does.
This is for Asen and Luke. I mean, for you guys, bring me back to, when you guys were first ingratiated as starters in this program. Think about that process, if you could think back to that, and then obviously where we are come when you guys match up this weekend. You have a chance to knock off one of the dynasties that's been in Oklahoma in your final football games here. Just if you guys could put that in perspective, all those things and the growth that you guys have had over the years, and talk about what is it like to be able to have this chance. The stage has been set in your final football game.
Yeah, I can think back to my freshman year when we started 0-3, and everybody was against us, and everybody thought the legacy was over. But I mean, it was just like any other game. We got back to work day to day, and then matching up with these guys in our final game, it's going to be a good game, and we're excited and we're ready for the challenge.
Yeah, freshman year for me, hard to get on the field and broke my collarbone, but sophomore year is when I first stepped into a big role and played Washington third game of the year, and they showed me some tough football, and I had to adjust. And like the games, you keep taking, like you keep playing, you get better and better. So just it's been a wake up call, and then now it's I'm comfortable playing football now.
These seniors, like listen to them speak about when they were, freshmen or whatever. And I know Ace did get on the field till he broke his collarbone, but these guys, they kind of started out as freshmen. It was a little rough. There was only 3 guys that had stepped on the field Friday night with them, and we had a bunch of freshmen out there. And I think that's a big part of these guys. They've been in it the whole way with me. 4 years ago, when they were freshmen, whenever I took over, so it's kind of been a journey along with them. So it's kind of special. But these guys, every year, we play 11 kids one side of the ball, 11 kids the other side of the ball. And we've done that, and we've developed a lot of kids that, a lot of these guys have played since they're younger. These guys sit down, these guys did it, and these guys are the ones that have, you always talk about kids leading it. These guys have, they get it, and, they sit down this time last year as soon as we were finished, and they brought the team together on their own, and they sat down and they put this thing together, and they decided that this was going to be it. Like, I mean, they've done this. They've been with me since the start, and every year we've kind of grown something different. I know everybody has something each year, but these guys have carried it over. It's not too often you get a group of guys that, these guys not only carried over, they're teaching it to our younger guys, and they're pretty. I think that's our biggest thing these guys got going for them is these guys. They've led the thing the whole way. I mean, even when they were young, they still had a lot of those attributes and spoke up. And this group of guys is, they're not going to take no for an answer. I mean, they're going to lead these guys that are behind them, and they're going to teach them, and they're going to grow them. And our program's going to be better for it when these guys graduate.